When we're using rope to tie knots, we need to understand what part of the rope is going to be doing what. In order to help us describe it, we have one part of the rope which we refer to as the standing part, and that is it's primarily inactive, and then we have the running end, as that does all the work. This is the clovage. It's quick to tie and easy to adjust. In this instance, we are using it to attach a fender to the guard wire to protect the boat when it comes alongside the dock or alongside another yacht. It is formed by bringing the running part of the line over the guard wire, back underneath, and back over itself to form an X. It is then taken underneath again, with the running end coming between the X. It is then secured tight. This is a bowline. It is a very useful knot, used for a variety of things, such as rescue, securing the boat, or hauling handled equipment. It is my preferred method for attaching to a cleat when I moor up the boat. A loop is formed on the standing part of the line so that the loop sits on top with the standing part going away from you and the running end coming towards you. The running end comes up the loop, around the back of the standing part and back down the loop. You then pull simultaneously on the standing part and the new formed loop and the running end. This is a round turn and 2 half hitches. It's a versatile knot and particularly good at securing to rings on pile moorings, as they create less chafe than a bowline, for example. Taking the running end over the object, you make one complete turn around it. Once this is completed, you tie the half hitches by placing the running end over the standing part and then back in a knot so it is taut. This process is repeated in the same direction to give a second half hitch. The standing part and running end are both pulled together to make the knot secure. The advantage of this knot is that it can be untied under tension. 0800 is used to secure quickly to a cleat on the dock after coming alongside, or when securing to a cleat on your own boat. To secure it, first take one complete turn around the cleat, which we refer to as the 0, and then you do a figure of 8 onto the cleat. The sequence finishes with 2 more complete turns around the cleat, hence the phrase 0800. You should never have loose line lying on the deck or on the pontoon, and so here is a way of tying it up. The rolling hitch is used to pull something in one direction, but slide in another. It's ideal for pulling up an anchor warp if the windlass breaks via the sheet winch. But here we're going to demonstrate taking the load of a winch that has a riding turn. The rolling hitch can be tied with a pull in 2 directions, so you will need to pull it in a specific direction to take the load off the winch. To check this, we take the running end and place it towards the direction of the pull. It then starts similar to a clove hitch by forming an X. However, this time, rather than coming up the centre of the X, it goes over a second time and then underneath the standing part, forming a kind of half hitch, and pull tight. If the standing part is pulled towards the winch, you will see that it grips the rope and takes the strain. Using the new winch with the rope, you can take the strain using the rolling hitch off the old winch and then untie the riding turn. The sheet bend is used to join 2 pieces of rope together. One of the ropes has a loop formed in the end, and this rope becomes the standing part. The running end comes up through the loop and then behind both of the standing part formed in the loop, and then comes across the front of the loop and under the running end. In wet conditions, a double sheet bend is recommended. In this instance, you simply go round one more time around the back of the standing part following the previous rope. The figure of 8 is used as a stopper knot and often tied in the end of sheets. However, it should be noted that no knots should be tied in the end of spinnaker sheets. Holding the standing part, a loop is formed using the running end, placing the running end on top. The running end then goes behind the standing part and then back down the loop. The process should look and feel like a figure of 8. These 6 knots of the clove hitch, bowline, round turn and 2 half hitches, the rolling hitch, sheet bend and figure of 8, together with tying to a cleat with 0800, form the basis of most of the knots that you will need whilst on board your boat.